So in this short lesson, I'm going to talk a little bit about tips and tricks for retouching a photo. They're going to be just basic photos. They're not anything glamorous or anything like that, but you can take a basic photo that you take with your camera or with your phone and spice it up just a little bit. So let's go ahead and open up the originals. Here's a photo I took of my friend Emily. And basically she is a real estate agent, so she wanted a headshot of her. And I'm going to go ahead and crop it first. That's always the first thing that I do because I don't need to work on other things, and then we're going to eventually crop it off anyway. So let's go ahead and crop it to the size that we want it to be. I want this to kind of look more like a glam shot. So I'm going to escape out of that one. I'm just going to go with a 5x7. 7 wide, there you go, and I'm just going to kind of have it off center. I like having photos off center. Be a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to duplicate that layer because I want to see the before and after. I'm also going to zoom in pretty tight and see if there's anything we can work on with her face. She's got pretty much a flawless face. But I'm going to go in there and kind of smooth out the wrinkles just a tad bit. So I'm going to take my healing brush, and you can try different brushes and different methods to see which one works best for you. So I'm just going to, oops, it's not the healing brush, is it? It is the healing brush. We want the spot healing brush. Sorry about that. So it is called the spot healing brush. I had this healing brush selected down here, so I have to click on spot healing. So let's come in here and I'm just going to kind of go over the top of some of her imperfections. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to kind of take my space bar to turn it into a hand tool so I can kind of get and run around the photo easier. So I hold the space bar down, it turns into a hand tool, and then I release it and then it goes back to my regular. I'm going to get a couple of these lines out of her neck. And you don't want to get rid of every imperfection because then it's going to look a little bit obvious. But that looks pretty good. Just a couple age spots up there. And let's just see the before and after. Okay, looks good. I'm going to zoom back out. She wanted me to kind of pull in her arm just a little bit to make her look a little bit thinner. So let's try that. Let's go to filter. It is under, where is it under? I always forget where they hide that. It is distort, and then it is liquefy. This is the way I do it. There's probably 5 or 6 other ways. So I'm taking that very top warp tool. I'm going to make my brush size pretty darn big. And I'm just going to push in, oops, let's make it smaller. I'm just going to push this in just a little bit. So I'm taking the arm, dragging it and pushing it in just a hair. Not a whole lot. Maybe I pull in this arm on the other side as well. And you can kind of play around with the size of the brush. I'm also going to bring in her neckline just a bit. And I think that looks really good. I think she'll be happy with that. You don't want it to be too, you don't want to lose 20 pounds, maybe 10 pounds, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And let's just see the before and after so you can see it. So there's the before and there's the after. Just kind of pulls it in just a little bit. The next thing I want to do is maybe I want to add a little bit of a glam to this. So I'm going to go up into filter and render, lens flare, and let's just try out the different lens flares. I can move this around by taking it and clicking and dragging it. Let's go with maybe that one. Let's just give it a glam shot look, and you can also brighten it if you want to or take it down. Let's go right about there, click on OK, and now we have a totally kind of different look for Emily. Another thing that you could do is you could go back into the filters and you can add maybe a graphic novel look, which I really like. So we're going to go into sketch, graphic novel, And that's a black and white. Let's just try a different ones. That's kind of cool, the fine detail. And then you can kind of mess around with the different darknesses and lights. Clean look, contrast. Oops, not that much. There we go. That's looking better. Thickness, I kind of like that. So let's go ahead and turn that back on. Click on OK. Might take a few minutes for it to progress through. And it just gives a totally different look. So we retouched this photo to give it the black and white. Let's zoom on in there. It looks kind of cool to me, but you always have that original that you can always fall back on. Let's go in and do some more retouching on another photo. Thanks so much for watching this quick snippet from Photo Editing and DigiScrap Academy. If you would like to see more of these short videos, be sure to check all the various ways to stay connected. I'll be posting them right here or here. I'm not really sure which direction they're posting, but so be sure to hit that pause button and jot these down. I'm Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, and thanks so much for watching.